this East Region Final. North Carolina, the longest winning streak in college basketball. They've won 13 in a row. Villanova, 10 of the last 11. And North Carolina, let's meet the starting lineup for this afternoon's game. Starting at forward for the Villanova Wildcats, 6'7", a senior from Linden, New Jersey, number 32, Aaron Howard. Starting at forward for the Tar Heels of North Carolina, 6'8", sophomore from East Meadow, New Jersey, number 44, Matt Doherty. At forward for Villanova, 6'10", a freshman from the Bronx in New York, number 54, Ed Pinckney. For North Carolina, 6'9", a junior from Gastonia, North Carolina, number 52, James Worthy. At center for Villanova, 6'8", a junior from Wethersfield, Connecticut, number 45, John Pannone. At center for North Carolina, 6'9", a sophomore from Latham, New York, number 41, Sam Perkins. Guard for Villanova, 6'6", a freshman from Worcester, Massachusetts, number 33, Dwayne McClain. At guard for North Carolina, 6'5", a freshman from Wilmington, North Carolina, number 23, Michael Jordan. At guard for Villanova, 6'3", a junior from Brooklyn, New York, number 10, Stuart Granger. For North Carolina, 6'3", a senior from the Bronx, New York, number 21, Jimmy Black. The head coach of the Villanova Wildcats, Raleigh Massimino. And the head coach of the North Carolina Tar Heels, Dean Smith. And the East Region Final is underway. Ed Pinckney has it for Villanova. Out to Granger. This is the man that Billy mentioned. He and Black going against each other. We'll watch that very closely. Granger, a junior, into Pinckney. He is third in the nation in field goal percentage. That will go off to the Wildcats.
Jimmy Black reaching back in as he does very often and knocking that ball away from Pinckney inside.
This Villanova team has one senior in the starting lineup, as does North Carolina.
Here's a 1-3-1 half-court trap right away.
Some of those mixes that will have, that's indicative of the Big East Conference. Here is Doherty, the double team. He walked with the ball.
The new rule, man standing up, falls to the ground, automatically called walking.
Boy, that was effective the way they trapped him in the corner. And Doherty, who had only 8 turnovers in the last 332 minutes, made one there.
And it's straight man-to-man. It's Worthy on Pannone.
Granger with Black on him. The two respective quarterbacks of their team. Granger out to Howard. He had his best game of the year with 16 points against Memphis State, and he starts it out well. He hit 8 of 10 shots against Memphis State with 16 points. And boy, the senior wants to finish off in fine fashion.
He has a very unusual shot, plays a lot taller on that shot than he looks. Now here we go again. 1-3-1 set up with Pannone running the baseline.
Boy, Pannone is some obstacle inside. Worthy's pass deflected out of bounds. Good defense again. Dean Smith. He would like to make it to the Final Four for the 7th time. Doherty will inbound it.
What makes this defense so tough is that they've got a man on the point, 6'7".
Here is Jordan, the ACC Rookie of the Year, out to Black. Black, over 500 assists in his career, second only to Phil Ford in Carolina history. Worthy out to Black. He can shoot well. He's not known for that, but he is very capable. Perkins brings it out. Perkins has really been a tower of strength on the boards for North Carolina, the sophomore from Latham, New York. Jordan, good patience. Reach in by Howard. Saved by Michael Jordan, the 6'5" freshman with good poise.
That was a big play by Aaron Howard because North Carolina likes to throw that little lob in the middle of the zone.
Black. Jimmy Black gets them on the scoreboard, 2-2. That's what he did in the first game here. He started them out.
He and Doherty are given the shots early by most defensive clubs.
They have to respect Black, even though the average is just a little over 7 points a game. Howard again. Pannone is there. He follows, and that's what he's going to do all afternoon long.
He takes so much room inside that he occupies all that space, and although he doesn't leap high, he is in position to grab those rebounds.
Pannone is not pretty, but he's effective. The way he plays, and they throw it away. And Carolina right now a little shaken in the early going.
Here we go. Here's the shot going up from the outside. There's Pannone. Look at the room. He's got nobody within 2-3 feet of him and goes up on Perkins and scores.
Bill Guthridge, the assistant coach of North Carolina, says you got to watch him. He's so strong. He just moves you around inside. And there was an example of it. High steal by Perkins and a foul. Reach in will go against Dwayne McClain.
That was a smart play by McClain, though. Even though he picked up the foul there, he prevented what would have been a 2-on-1 fast break.
McClain, one of the freshmen of the game. He had 20 points in the first game and then came back to score 2. So they hope he'll have a happy medium. There's Massimino. What a fine man he is.
He's worked his trade through the high school ranks, assistant coach ranks, and certainly one of the nation's finest now. And there's Aaron Howard. See, he's 6'7". He plays the point, so you can't rotate the ball around very easily against Villanova.
Boy, is he active out there. Baseline it goes to Worthy, and he stepped on the line. And another turnover for North Carolina.
James Worthy will do that often because he likes that roll move inside, but no room there because Villanova's Granger picked up well.
That's already 3 turnovers against the Tar Heels. Even though this is somewhat of a home court advantage, Villanova with a good representation here, and Villanova, 3 of their losses this year come to Georgetown. What a big East Conference they have. That's off of Villanova. That's 3 turnovers against the Wildcats.
James Worthy coming over the top of Pannone took away that passing lane. Both teams are extremely tentative right here. A lot on the line.
Both these teams are excellent shooting clubs. Both of them around 54% for the year. But right now, the defense and the pressure taking its toll. Jordan almost stepped out of bounds. Recovers nicely, blocked that time by Pinckney. Jordan followed.
Pinckney blocks 6 shots against Memphis State. On the wing, he does a great job defensively because even if he gets by him, he can come back as he did there.
It's 4-all. Here is Granger, an enthusiastic player. As he goes, so goes Villanova. Pannone again. The lean in, but he couldn't get it this time, and a foul will go on Jimmy Black.
Easy shot for Pannone. Great job that time by Granger, splitting the trap by North Carolina and getting it inside. Here it goes. There's Pinckney coming from that wing, gets the ball. Michael Jordan, who's a great leaper inside, puts it up with the left hand.
Boy, a freshman. Just remember a freshman. Look at this one now.
Now there's Pannone dumping inside. Doesn't have it. Jimmy Black comes in with a reach foul.
Pannone has been such a clutch performer. 230-pounder. He weighs 6'8". And there he is trying to dribble the ball. Coming up with it is Jordan.
Oh, Pinckney's great hands.
What long arms Pinckney has, reaching in. 4 turnovers now against North Carolina.
Sensational defensive play by the young freshman.
Pinckney, a second-team freshman All-American. Played Bronx, New York, Adley Stevenson High School, the same high school as Fred Brown at Georgetown. That'll be a foul. It's going to go on McClain.
Oh, but second. Sam Perkins went down hard. He really hit the floor.
This reminds me of yesterday's game, Louisville, when Derek Smith was jostled around, and now Perkins, boy, he really had a collision with McClain. Commander will inbounds the ball. There he is, number 45. He's a senior out of Babylon, New York.
We've covered the rule off, and when a man gets injured like that, he either has to come out or the coach has to call a timeout, and still in the 1-3-1.
You saw that graphic. North Carolina is not known for their bench, their depth. And there they reach in again by Pinckney. 5 turnovers against Carolina. Pinckney really is deceptive defensively. Oh no, not to Ed Pinckney. Pinckney shot almost 65% from the field this year. That is amazing for a first-year man. And it goes to Pannone, out to Dwayne McClain, the left-hander on the move. Worthy tries to get the rebound. Pannone broke it up nicely that time by Jordan. Here comes Black. Jordan with a quick hand. Beautiful Doherty, and a foul. It'll go on Aaron Howard of Villanova.
Beautiful feed. Wally Massimino saying the rim has been grabbed. No call. Here we see Jimmy Black. Beautiful look away, fake. Now we see the play coming up right there. Not enough to go ahead and call a technical foul. He was up around the rim, but didn't hang.
Beautiful break, but what really got that all started was Jordan reaching in and taking that ball away. Pannone cannot bring that ball down. They're going to be on him.
Well, Pannone has incredibly strong hands, and to slap that ball away from him is quite a feat.
Here is Doherty. 16 points in the last game. Just an outstanding, unsung performer for this team out of East Meadow, New York.
You notice how he turned around and said to Jimmy Black, what's the call? He's talking about defensively. What is going to be the defense? Normally they press out of the made foul shot. And here they are.
Carolina with the lead, 6-4. 15.5 minutes to go in this first half. Here's the man who'll have to handle the pressure, Stuart Granger, the junior from Brooklyn. Aaron Howard. Pannone in against Brust. Reversing a foul, and Pannone is just like a blue-collar worker in there. He just keeps coming at you.
He is amazing. When he gets you on the hip, he occupies the space, keeps you on your back. Now watch it. This is old-time pivot play right here. He didn't get 3 inches off the ground, drew the foul, and occupied 3 guys. Watch it. He rolls. No walk. Just doesn't let anybody knock that ball away from him.
The hub of the offense. Pannone, that foul on Worthy is first. Perkins now checking back in. There he is. So evidently he's going to be okay.
Harry, I say for North Carolina against this 1-3-1, they're going to have to start penetrating through the middle of it with the dribble. Now, last year in the NCAA championship, Bobby Knight, knowing that North Carolina does not like to put the ball on the floor in their half-court offense, really picked them up and forced them to dribble the ball. They never were able to accomplish it. Let's see if it happens today.
Another substitution, Frank Dobbs, number 44, in for Villanova. Pannone, who hit some big free throws in that win against Memphis State, doesn't get the second one. 6-5, North Carolina.
A little different look in the zone now. It's a 2-3 zone because they don't have the big man out there on the point.
They packed it back in a little further, too. Up it comes to Worthy. Tough shot. Perkins tries to follow. It's tough on the boards, and look at Pannone chase it down. You don't expect that out of your pivot to run the ball down, especially John Pannone.
Nice backside rebounding there by Villanova in that zone.
Granger going to try one. Perkins. He plays like he's 7'2" with those long arms, even though he's only 6'9".
Here's the zone, 2-3 zone, quite a back line with Howard, Pannone, and Pinckney.
Here is Jordan. He's open. He did not shoot it well at all, and Pannone saves it in.
He didn't shoot it well because Aaron Howard came out there and challenged him. It's tough to shoot against that back line.
Stuart Granger, he's kind of the barometer of this team. He was a little out of control in the game against Memphis State. That looks like it might have been kicked. It's going to go out of bounds to Villanova. Substitution, Gary McLean, a freshman, will check into the ball game now for the Wildcats. North Carolina leads at 6-5. CBS Sports coverage will continue.
Defense.
Gary McLean, who just checked into the ball game, will inbounds as soon as somebody's open. Steal attempt, Worthy. What a move by Worthy to Perkins, and a foul on Ed Pinckney. Boy, that shows you how Worthy at 6'9" can get up and down the floor.
He really is a transition player. Many times he'll take that ball all the way, but give again Pannone a lot of credit for hustling back defensively and getting in the way, forcing that extra pass.
Sam Perkins at the line. Look at the play again.
Here you see the play. Here comes Worthy. Great on the dribble. Dishes off to Perkins, and Pannone was right there. Look at him go after that rebound, even though it didn't count. He plays all out on every play.
That's the reason he has that nickname of the Bear. The first foul on Pinckney. Perkins shooting 77% from the free throw line. Tremendous inside player. I think Dean Smith said it very well. He has a real hunger to improve his game all the time, and he's just a sophomore.
Here comes the full court pressure by North Carolina.
8-5 lead now by the Tar Heels. Pannone, who's always seemed to be a steadying influence against pressure, but they're going to have to hurry this one a little bit. Off it comes very quickly Frank Dobbs with the nickname of Happy. Out it comes to McLean. They're playing 2 freshmen alternating to the guard. This man along with Dwayne McLean.
I think what Rollie Massimino's trying to do is to wear Jimmy Black down, knowing that he's got Granger to go down the wire.
Granger gets ready to come back in. Pannone faked him up. Gary McLean, and that's a young freshman again, shooting the ball with such verve and confidence.
Pannone with a great fake and a dish.
8-7, Carolina. Here is Black, the man you mentioned. They're trying to wear down.
Now they got Howard back out there playing a point.
Doherty brings it out to Perkins. You really have to protect the passers. Reaching around Villanova. They are tough defensively. Worthy, nice play. Worthy's first 2 points, using the glass so effectively. So all 5 of the starters now for North Carolina have 2 points. Pretty good balanced scoring in the early going.
Here we see. Now watch this fake by Pannone. Comes out to meet the ball. Good pump fake. Great play by Jimmy Black coming over to help. Now North Carolina tries to pick up from the outside. Too late. Some excellent plays both offensively and defensively. 2 really well-coached teams here, Gary.
Well, that's the reason they've come this far. Granger just came in, almost didn't see that pass.
Dobbs hit him with a bullet.
10-7, Carolina. Granger back in. Dobbs remains in the ball game into Pannone. That's a tough pass to catch, but he did. Here's Dobbs. Rebound, Pinckney. The Spikeman pushes it on.
Nice job again, Pannone making the plays inside.
That's the reason he was third in field goal percentage. He takes the good shots inside, the good percentage shots. 1-point lead now for North Carolina. Almost thrown away. Worthy brings it out to Black. Black had the shot, gives it instead. And hitting it, Bart Peterson, who just checked in. He's a young freshman who was hurt early in the year, but he's really come on to add to this team down the stretch.
Yeah, he was a high school All-American player, but being injured with all the things that North Carolina puts in their scheme early, he didn't get a chance.
With that basket, that means 6 men now for North Carolina have 2 points. Stop, misses again. Here comes Peterson. He was a player of the year in North Carolina last year. He'll hold it up, bring it out. Henry Black, off to Perkins. Look at the pressure they have on Perkins. Into Worthy. Tough catch, but he made it. Rebound Pinckney, those long arms at 6'9½".
James Worthy being well defensed inside, being crowded by Pinckney and Pannone.
Stuart Granger. Oh, what a pass to Pinckney, and a foul will go on Sam Perkins.
Now what's happening? Granger is such a good ball handler. When North Carolina is trying their trapping defense, he's splitting the defense. And of course, that allows for a man to be open after he penetrates. Good job by Pinckney. Here you see Granger, reverse dribble. North Carolina kind of caught flat-footed inside. Pinckney goes right up. Even though Perkins did slap the ball away, he got him with the body.
First foul on Perkins, third team foul against North Carolina. Pinckney with 3 rebounds, 2 points. He led them in rebounding this year with 7.6 a game. Now he's been shooting 73% from the line. We mentioned he's a teammate of Fred Brown, who's going to be in New Orleans with the Georgetown Hoyas.
Well, you know, when you look around the country, if a freshman talent that entered college basketball this year, it has to go along with 2 years ago with the greatest recruiting classes of all time.
What a freshman class we have.
Man-to-man now for the first time in the game.
Inside, Worthy going to work. Going to be goaltending on Pinckney. Pinckney is amazing, Billy, the way he gets up around the cylinder.
Well, that's a mistake of immaturity, even though he aggressively went after it. Watch Worthy on Pannone. Now, Pannone knows he can't handle him one-on-one, so he didn't go for the foul. But Pinckney will learn not to go after that ball.
14-10, the biggest lead of the ball game for North Carolina. Brust is getting ready to come back in for the Tar Heels. Granger into Pannone. I don't know how he came out of there with it. Jimmy Black will chase it down. Pannone had no right to even have that ball. And this crowd erupts now. Carolina trying to add to their 4-point advantage.
Worthy wants it a lot.
Pannone fouled him.
Worthy, I'm really surprised Villanova went to the man-to-man, because you give Worthy an opportunity to work Pannone, and he'll get him in foul trouble. Boy, look at this battle inside. 2 great competitors.
You got to be a man to be playing this game when those 2 guys go.
No contact sport, huh?
That's the first foul on Pannone, the 15th foul on Villanova.
I think Raleigh's trying to try everything that he's got in his arsenal to see how North Carolina is going to work against it. Now he's back in his zone on the out of bounds.
Granger picking up Jordan. Brust has checked in. They give Worthy a breather at the 11:05 mark of this first half of play.
2-3 zone, back in there. They're matching up out of this zone now.
The changes. Boy, the Big East Conference has really put on a show in this NCAA tourney. Perkins is fouled. Aaron Howard.
Now, when you talk about a matchup zone, you notice how Howard, although he's playing the back of that zone, he followed Sam Perkins all the way up to the middle. Got there a little late and committed the foul.
That is the 16th foul now against the Wildcats. Worthy, a very brief break from the action, comes back in, and Brust will check out of the game. There he is. I don't know if there's much of a blow as the fact that Dean Smith wanted to talk to him, but either way, he wasn't out very long.
I think what Dean Smith's trying to do is give guys about a 1.5, 2-minute flow here in the first half. Now, Raleigh Massimino going to his bench a lot more, figuring this game's going down the wire. Dean Smith said the team that plays best in the last 3 minutes will win, so maybe that's the strategy he's following.
Backdoor, beautiful play to Worthy. 6 points for Worthy. That was something.
Over Ed Pinckney.
Mike Baldwin is one of those men who's checked in for Villanova, a 6'7" junior. Pannone, and he's fouled by Michael Jordan.
This will never show up on a stat sheet, Gary. Watch this slam right here. James Worthy getting himself organized. Probably got fouled a little bit. Here he comes. Look at the concentration. Look at those eyes. Oh, that's some kind of catch. We saw yesterday in Rodney McRae, a guy with great two-handed snatches. And he and James Worthy, and Kevin McGee. He's got the best hands in the game.
That's out of bounds. Granger lost it. 7th turnover against Villanova. A 6-point lead now for North Carolina, and Villanova has asked for a timeout.
What Raleigh Massimino is saying, charge it to TV. He didn't want it against himself.
So with 10:29, Carolina with their biggest lead. This crowd really noisy in Raleigh.
Timeout, and Jimmy Braddock to spell Jimmy Black. Black is a guy that he really has to have around, not in foul trouble and in pretty good condition, because Granger has already had a rest.
North Carolina shooting 60% from the field. Villanova just over 30. A big discrepancy. Massimino thought that Braddock traveled to the ball. He's over there coaching the officials.
He's working the game real hard right now.
Doherty. Braddock, who's come in replacing Black as a junior from Chattanooga. He has the ball now. Heavily wrapped right thigh, bringing it out. Good ball handler. Off to Doherty. Boy, it's packed in there, isn't it?
They're looking inside. Not there. Wasn't a good shot.
Coming down the rebound, Dwayne McClain, who's checked back in for the Wildcats. He and Granger will be in the backcourt. Pinckney, Mulquin, and Pannone are in there now. I don't know who that was headed for. I guess Mulquin. It's 8 turnovers against Villanova.
It really was. The pass wasn't there. Now Jimmy Black with a 2-minute rest. Now he got the timeout rest of about a minute, and then he gets a playing time rest of a minute. So there's the 2-minute blow.
Not only that, Billy, you have the tendency early to really get to hyperventilating. You burn up a lot of energy early. Sometimes you need to come out and just kind of catch your breath. The pressure here is quite evident. Still, Carolina with a 6-point lead.
Now, one of the things you always face when you're trying to keep people fresh is you don't get any continuity in your offense because you have different combinations on the floor.
And in North Carolina's position, they've been playing with 5 men mostly. It's a good point. They have not substituted that much during the course of the regular season.
There's the 2-3 zone. Jordan hadn't gotten loose for his jumper yet today. They're really watching him.
Pinckney is checked back in. The long arms of Pinckney just doesn't give you any place to go with the ball inside. He and Pannone really play this zone well.
You notice how they cover Jimmy Black, and then when he gets the ball, they drop off it.
Aaron Howard almost picked up a foul, and Massimino was up. He was anticipating the whistle on that one. Jordan off to Black. Good patience now by Carolina. McLean tough on Black. Jordan will try one.
Good cross-court pass that time by North Carolina. Always an effective thing to do against that type of zone.
6 unanswered points now has given Carolina this 8-point lead. Steal, trap. Jordan. Pass to Doherty, and he stepped out on it.
I think what happened to Michael Jordan that time, he faked out his own teammate. There was not a passing lane there. He probably would have been better off keeping it in himself and pulling up for the jumper.
Doherty was on the end line. As an end result, Villanova has it. Buzz Peterson now will come in. Doherty will come out. Villanova, by the way, has only a free throw in the last 3 minutes and 20 seconds of this game.
Well, McLean's got to remember not to pick up his dribble against this trap-type defense, and that's what happened to him last time. He picked it up again.
Jordan added it away. Boy, Jordan all over the place. He has those long arms, too, at 6'5".
Well, what's happening, and the young freshman will learn, here comes Granger in for him right now, that when you cross half court with that dribble against this kind of trapping defense, you got to keep the dribble alive. Now watch him. See, watch him. He'll pick up the dribble. When he does, it's over.
Good reaction. Jordan adding it out of bounds. Granger, who just checked in, triggers it. 8 minutes, 21 seconds left in this first half. The winner to meet the Midwest winner in New Orleans. McLean, not a good shot. Here comes Worthy. Now watch him handle the ball. The reason he handles it so well, as we mentioned the other night, is they didn't have a basket at the YMCA, and he had to practice shooting and dribbling. Oh, there is almost a follow.
He was 2 feet above the basket.
It's Peterson to Worthy. Worthy really active right now, and he's fouled by Granger.
Quite a play. James Worthy catches that ball. They just lob it up inside.
You kind of get the feeling Worthy's trying right now to just get this team rolling, keep this lead. He's really taken over at this stage.
Now Doherty got himself the 2-minute rest. Peterson came in. Dean Smith doesn't use that lineup much, where he plays Jordan at a forward position.
Second foul in the ball game. Make that the first foul in the ball game against Granger. They're in the shooting situation now. 6 points for James Worthy.
Most people realize Gastonia, North Carolina is also the home of Sleepy Floyd, who's already in the Final Four.
Interesting, isn't it? Goes back to those high school combinations. I mentioned earlier, Brett Brown, 18-10, 7:45. First half to go. The last field goal by Villanova is the 13-minute mark. That's not going to do it. Aaron Howard. Howard tries to follow, and he's got a foul.
Howard got away with a push before he made the jump shot, or took the jump shot attempt. He's a little bit frustrated right now.
Well, he had such a great game Friday night, but that's his third foul. He's in real difficulty, the co-captain of this Villanova team. And we're going to have a change. Malkin will come back in, number 25 for the Wildcats, a junior out of Rockville, Maryland.
Extremely aggressive player, so that won't hurt on the defensive end so much.
Well, he was a starter at the beginning of this year for Villanova.
But Howard does play that 1-3-1 so well up at the point. Malkin doesn't have that capacity.
Doherty thus far with 2 points. Both of them coming from the line. 19-10. That's 7 unanswered points now.
And notice this gym's starting to get awful warm. It's warm outside, and it's been around here for many years. Not much insulation.
And all of a sudden, it's a 10-point lead.
The full court pressure. Watch Granger handle it.
North Carolina's hit 6 of 7 from the free throw line. 7.5 minutes until intermission. Here's Malkin. Off to Pinckney. Villanova needs a basket. They've really hit a dry spell.
Pannone. Look for them to go to Pannone.
And the foul, the reach in.
That's going to be on Doherty.
At Doherty picking up the personal.
Only the 5th team foul.
Sitting down his 9th year as coach of Villanova. 7 straight winning seasons.
Gary, so many coaches around the country really concern themselves about not getting into the 1-and-1. And I don't know if anybody uses the not fouling as much as Dean Smith. He very seldom has his team caught in a 1-and-1 early in the first half.
That foul, by the way, was given to Jimmy Black, knocked Doherty, and that's his 2nd personal foul.
Now it's a zone defense by North Carolina, not wanting to get in that bonus.
Here's McLean. He has not been hitting, but he got that one. McLean, freshman from Worcester, Massachusetts, has 4 points. If he starts to shoot, that would really help this Villanova club.
Great shooter.
He had 20 points in that Northeastern win.
Notice Molly Massimino has not gone back to that man-to-man, because that really lit the fire on James Worthy.
Look at Perkins. You can't even stop a pass like that as high as he went into the air. They're cross-courting a lot.
The cross-courting, and look for him to try to cross-court and then dump back into Worthy.
Doherty looking in. He's going to try one. And good position by Jordan. He's fouled by Granger.
Now, it'll probably be a one-shotter. It'll probably be a one-shotter because it was a tap as opposed to a catch and a shot. Let's see what they call it. 1-and-1. Doherty putting up a jumper. Really didn't have good balance on the shot. And here's Jordan, an excellent rebounder. And a good call.
Jordan with good presence of mind to get that inside position. It's still 20-12. 2nd foul on Granger in the ball game. Here he is with the ball. Black playing tough on him. Villanova went 6 minutes without a field goal before this guy hit one just a moment ago. Pannone, backdoor, Pinckney having trouble. Perkins blocked it, and he still got it in.
Great presence of mind by the young freshman.
High points for Pinckney. That shows the strength of that young man. Perkins, very, very strong, but he still got it through the cylinder into Worthy. Look at him jumping there. Almost lost it. Worthy is really fired up.
What he says, he wants the ball earlier when he's breaking up as opposed to waiting so long.
Outside, Jordan not able to get it. He hit one there earlier. Pinckney, now Villanova starting to make a move. Nice play by Doherty as he goes into the Carolina bench.
Villanova still attacking. They're not playing passive at all. Now watch this. Good dish inside. Doherty probably fouled Pinckney the first time. Pinckney gets a hand on it. Even with the block, puts it up. Good no call by the official there, too. This game's being very well worked.
Boy, I tell you, this is a streaky game. North Carolina now has missed their last 4 field goal attempts. Earlier, Villanova was struggling for the field. They cut it to 6. They trail 20-14. Look at Granger maneuver inside. Somehow he got it to Pinckney. It's rejected. Jordan. To Black. Black. Let's see. Goaltending is going to be called on Dwayne McLean.
Excellent fast break by North Carolina. 3-on-1 that time. McLean showed you what kind of leaper he is. Now Jordan's going to take a seat.
Boy, when you come down on a break, Billy, You have the advantage. You still aren't home. The way these teams can get back and get up in the air.
Well, you don't find teams that get this far that aren't good in the transition game, particularly getting back on defense. We've seen it almost in every game we've done so far.
22-14. Carolina with a lead. We approach 5 minutes left in this first half of play.
I think it'd really be smart for Villanova to let Pannone handle that ball a lot the rest of the way. Try to get another foul on Worthy.
They're not getting the ball that much to him, are they?
No.
Granger to McLean. Malquin will bring it back outside. Malquin had 7 points the other night. Here's McLean again. He has his confidence back.
He's unconscious. He doesn't worry about it at all.
He is 6'6" and playing the guard position. 22-16. Villanova hit that long spell when things weren't going well, but they put the pieces back together. Shot by Peterson.
That's Perkins.
Over the back. Pinky inside again for Villanova. Sam Perkins picking up his second personal foul. And now with 16 fouls, North Carolina up against the glass.
Now it's a 2-2-1 full court zone press by North Carolina.
22-16.
Pannone is a key here. He comes back to meet the ball so well.
He really keeps his head, doesn't he? Never seems to get rattled, and they need him right now. Off it comes to Granger. Granger. One ball handling to Malquin. Beautiful. What a play. James Worthy.
He cuffed that ball.
Outstanding defensive effort.
Worthy breaking through the middle, wants the ball.
Black hit. I think Worthy right now is the emotional leader in this ball game. He has really tried to egg him on.
You notice how often teams that change their defenses, you never get a good look. That's why you need the Grangers and the Blacks to run that point, to be able to recognize. Now North Carolina's in a 2-1-2 zone.
And to Pannone, he hasn't had the ball that much. Perkins tried to lay off of him. He has a rebound. Villanova's hit 7 of 20. They're hitting around 30% in this ball game. Black, but Pannone has it.
Is such a good player.
Well, that's not easy to stab a ball like that in midair. Here's Granger out of control. Not a good shot, and a foul is going to come up. Malquin of Villanova guilty.
Every once in a while, Villanova loses their cool, and it costs them. Here's the play. Malquin might have been out of bounds. There's Worthy just cupping it on that block. I think Malquin was out of bounds. Didn't make any difference. Came the other way anyhow.
Can you believe that block by Worthy?
James Worthy hasn't touched the ball in a long time, Gary. We're down to 3:25 to go in the half. And he's been breaking up through that zone, but it's packed back pretty well.
Michael Jordan at the line. Jordan this year shooting 71% from the stripe.
You know, a lot of people packed in here today seeing a great game, but this gym, Gary, has had more people watch a college basketball game in here than any gym in the United States on a college campus. Isn't that something?
Well, Everett Case started building this. When was that?
About back right after the war. World War II, I'm talking. Here's that 2-2-1 again.
Back to a 10-point lead for Carolina. 3:18 to go. First half. John Pannone. Nice pass to Malquin. Boy, Pannone, again, giving up the ball. He really has a presence of mind.
Well, he makes the good catch. He doesn't get rattled. Makes a good play. So valuable.
North Carolina in this game has scored 10 points off of 9 Villanova turnovers. They have been an opportunistic team. Perkins with that little jump hook. 3 Wildcats there, and Malquin has it. Malquin has a brother who plays for the Air Force Academy. Inside 3 minutes, and you can see Granger now setting up offensively. Massimino's attack.
Next foul shot for Villanova will be 1-and-1 also.
Here's Owens who's checked back in. Nice pass to Pannone, and there he is. Just effective as all get out inside.
Once again, James Worthy got caught on his back, and Pannone just sits down beautifully and doesn't give you room to attack.
He goes under you. They cut it to 6. Malquin hit the deck. No whistle. Here is Worthy. Look at him. What concentration. To Perkins. Back to Worthy. Worthy off to Black. They shift around so effectively in that zone.
Looking inside. Now that's where they were trying to cut it off.
Malquin jumping out at 6'7". Look at the intensity of this Villanova defense right now. They're yelling at people.
Well, the East has long been a great area for zone defenses. Harry Litwack at Temple got him started.
Jordan said that Doherty not shooting the ball well today. Rebound cleared by Frank Dobbs. Off to Granger. Pannone. Look at this pass again. He knows where Malquin is, but he missed it. Followed up and in.
Good play. Pinckney again hustling down there. Villanova not letting up, and now they got it within 4.
Yeah, Pinckney got the basket. He has 7 points. points. They almost brought the goal down with that one. 26-22. A minute 23 left in the first half. So that 10-point lead, where did it go? All of a sudden, they're back now within 4.
Worthy again, breaking into the middle, but not getting the ball.
Perkins against Pannone. Difficult shot, tipped by Worthy. Left-handed and underneath. It was not easy.
Didn't have even good balance and had the strength and the presence to keep it there.
8 points in the ball game now for Worthy. Back to a 6-point lead inside a minute left in his first half.
Dean Smith has 3 new guys coming in. He's in the zone defense, and you can sure if he gets the ball next time, he'll sit on it to the end of the half.
Here's Frank Happy Dobbs. Rebound Worthy. He seems to be all over the place. He has 4 rebounds.
They're going to sit on it right now. They're not going to put up another one here for the half.
And this team, when you talk about sitting on it, they are the architect of that. They started all this four-corner offense stuff.
Well, it was started a long time ago as an offensive weapon when Dean Smith had big people who didn't handle the ball so well, guys like Rusty Clark, and he'd put them down in the corners. And then they had guys like Larry Miller, Charlie Scott, and then the ultimate point man, Phil Ford, that ran this thing as an offensive weapon, not as a stall.
I can still remember how he would duck inside. Black to Worthy. You see the time left. Tipped up by Jordan. Jordan to the weak side. Does a job, but he doesn't get it this time. Up to Granger. They have time if he hurries. He does not. Time expires in this first half. Oh, what 20 minutes of basketball we have seen thus far.
Here's John Pannone, Mr. Do Everything. Looks up for the jump shot. Dumps inside to Mulquin. Mulquin holds his ground beautifully and puts up the shot. Pannone's got great stats for the first half, but even more than that, his mental process in the game has been excellent.
You know, he just seems to have a designated spot to go to. Pannone knows he'll be there. Now, he didn't get that one, but look at the tip by Pinckney. What a job by Pinckney. As you can see, the goal just shaking from its foundation. And this crowd is really shaking here. They have seen an outstanding first 20 minutes. The score 28-22. North Carolina. Stay with us at halftime. We'll take a look at the surprising Boston College Golden Eagles. And have a live report from the Chuckerdome in St. Louis, side of the Midwest Regional Final. CBS Sports coverage of NCAA basketball.
Villanova, they're back to that 1-3-1. It was their most effective defense. When Howard went out of the game with the 3 fouls, they had to get out of it because they don't have a man to play that point.
Michael Jordan brings it outside to Jimmy Black. Black in the first half had 6 points. Doherty was 0 for 3 from the field, which is not the way he's been shooting the ball in tournament play. There's a trap, and Perkins batted it off of Granger. Heads up ball.
You see where Granger came from, all the way in the opposite wing over there to draw that trap in the corner. This is a very well-conceived defense, and North Carolina didn't handle it well in the first half. They're not trying to penetrate with the ball at all to get it inside there.
Jordan brings it out to Black. Black on those 6 points hit 3 of 3 from the field. Here's Worthy, 8 points in the first half. What a remarkable player, the All-American. Black to Jordan. Jordan didn't shoot all that much in the first half. He put up 6. Perkins, long ways for that pivot man. Jordan keeps it alive to Matt Doherty. Good play by Michael Jordan.
Sooner or later, people will realize you've got to block out Michael Jordan.
Perkins basketball count. He's fouled Aaron Howard, and that will be 4 on him.
Oh, that was a big play in so many ways for Villanova. Howard picking up number 4, but even more importantly, without keeping Jordan off the rebounding. Watch this. Perkins goes up. Now, he can shoot from that kind of range, but look at Michael Jordan. Keeps it alive. Doherty gets his hands on it. The very clever Doherty passes inside, seeing an opening. And there's Perkins with the left hand. Howard reaches in.
So Perkins had another shot at it at closer range. Got it. Chance for a 3-point play. 2 of 2 from the line, giving 3 of 3. Howard has to come out. Mulquin replaces him. Boy, what a frustrating afternoon for this co-captain of the Wildcats, who had played so well against Memphis State, but he's been in foul trouble all afternoon long.
There's Pannone coming back up to meet the ball again. So smart.
He's kind of the spoke, isn't he? A wheel. Everything comes into him, and they settle down and set it out.
Now North Carolina playing a man-to-man.
31-22. Pinckney out to McLean, who now misses after hitting his last 2 shots of the first half off of Pinckney.
How many times have we seen that shot that's not quite the range? It's not a layup, it's not the jumper, and it's a tough one to make. I'll never forget Russ Shaney, UT Chattanooga. Had it, but it was at that tough distance to get the good stroke.
31-22. They could get their biggest lead of the game here, Billy.
Look for Worthy. It's man-to-man. Here he is on Pannone.
Pannone at 6'8" against 6'9". Trying to follow with Doherty. What a powerful rebound by Pinckney that time. The leading rebounder for the Wildcats. 31-22. Here is the young freshman. Boy, this Villanova team's going to be tough next year. Only one senior in the starting lineup.
Jimmy Black's giving Granger the jumper.
Granger takes it. Rebound, clear down and ripped down by Worthy. 5 for him in the game. Jimmy Black, 3 up. A big move blocked by Pinckney. Pinckney got away with that beautiful move.
Jimmy Black made a great move. You don't anticipate he's going to take it to the hoop. But Pinckney hustling again makes the play.
Did you see him move to his left hand just so smoothly? But this time Pinckney got the better of it. In it goes to Pannone. Rejected goaltending on Perkins.
I don't believe that call. Here's Jimmy Black making the move. Put it up with the left hand. Pinckney on a great block.
At the other end, Perkins was whistled down. Let's watch it.
There it is. That ball was still on the way up. Perkins was only about a 1.5 feet away.
31-24, North Carolina. Doherty, they trap him instantly. Worthy, good vision of the floor, finds Jordan open.
Can't get in that shot. Good look by James Worthy.
Worthy has really great peripheral vision, doesn't he? He sees the whole floor, and there was a good indication of it. 33-24, 17-15 to go in this game. To McLean. To Pinckney. You know, Granger still hasn't scored in this game. He gives it off to Pannone. Nice pass. Pinckney in real trouble. Got away with it and in.
It's amazing what Pinckney's done today. Good hands on so many occasions. That's a tough ball to catch down there around your ankles, right underneath the basket with a lot of traffic.
Almost backcourt on that play. Perkins alertly came across the stripe before he caught the ball.
Here you have Mulquin playing that position that Aaron Howard plays so well, the point on the 1-3-1.
Very intelligent basketball player in there for Howard. And on the baseline was Jordan. That's 8 turnovers against Carolina.
Dean Smith saying my man was pushed out. Now here's Pannone. Worthy holding his gun. Look at Pannone use that wrist. Here you go. Pinckney goes down and gets it, comes up and stuffs it in.
What can you do about something like that? 33-26, the turnover. Giving it back to Villanova.
The trap has not bothered Granger.
Look at the back scoring. North Carolina really getting the better of it. One reason is this guy hasn't scored for Villanova. Nice fake that time to Mulquin. He gives to Pinckney.
3 seconds.
Yep. Overpassed the ball.
Pinckney's been in there a lot today. That's the first time he's been caught.
That's 10 turnovers against Villanova. Well, they are moving positively inside, though, aren't they? They're attacking the inside of that defense. Here is Jimmy Black.
Dean Smith looking a little nervous sitting on his bench down there.
He has run into an outstanding team in Villanova. Villanova's won 10 of their last 11. They won the regular conference title in the Big East. Doherty, rebound McLean.
He hadn't hit from the field today, and Doherty was a big man for him against Alabama.
16 points against the Crimson Tide. 33-26.
You feel like Villanova's getting ready for a roll right here. North Carolina hasn't done much offensively.
Pinckney trying to take Perkins inside, uses the Mulquin screen, and he walked with the ball, I believe. Yes, he did. Pinckney getting up in frustration. He just didn't have any place to go.
Well, he saw a little bit of hesitancy in the corner. He had the ball, and he looked like he wanted to make the offensive move, but there was nothing there.
This young man from Bronx, New York, really impressive. 33-26. Almost 5 minutes has gone by now in this second half of play.
James Worthy hadn't touched it.
Jordan, nice pass off to Perkins. A big man that can shoot from that far out.
Now what Michael Jordan did there, Gary, is what you got to do against this type of defense, is penetrate with the dribble a little bit. Bust through the zone.
Big Sam Perkins with 7 points. 35-26, a foul. A reach in will go on Jordan. Jordan crossing over, trying to dig that ball away from Pannone, and that's almost next to impossible.
Derek Smith can be very glad today that it wasn't Pannone whose elbow he caught.
That's the second foul on Jordan. He's going to leave now, and coming in will be Buzz Peterson, the freshman from Asheville, North Carolina.
Who was the only guy that scored off the bench for North Carolina in the first half, hitting the jumper and missing a jumper.
Deano's gone to that bench quite extensively in the 2 games here in this East region.
Here's the zone now, 2-3, really packed in there.
Granger, the quarterback of the team, to Dobbs, who's checked in. Frank Dobbs, a sophomore out of Pittsburgh.
Dobbs made the good jumper in the first half. He's not afraid to put it up.
Dobbs reaches outside to Granger. 14:41 left in this game. Granger looking for his first points.
That's a big shot. Granger hadn't looked for the jumper all day, and it's been there.
That could break the ice for that young man. 35-28. Perkins in the second half has 5 of North Carolina's 7, and Carolina still a very uncomfortable lead. Worthy out to Black, long ways, but the senior's equal to it.
James Worthy just smiled over to Jimmy Black. They throw that ball cross court, and with Worthy's great passing accuracy, it sets up an easy jumper.
Boy, he is so important to this North Carolina team. He has 8 points in it. 37-28. Granger moving against Peterson, kind of pushing off on him. Pinckney inside, they can't stop him.
Granger did push off, got away with it, and he can penetrate. He's got a great body on him for a guard.
Pinckney with 11 points, leading Villanova, a 7-point lead. In fact, he's the high-scoring man in this game thus far. Here's Peterson, brings it out to Perkins.
North Carolina trying to set up a little differently, kind of like a box right now against this zone trap.
Jimmy Black into Perkins, going high. Pannone right up there. He just stomached him back. Reaching the foul on Granger. Oh, Granger really upset at the official. He better be careful.
You talk about the wrong time to get a technical foul. Now, here's a beautiful pass on the inside. Look at Pinckney wheel. Goes up inside, and you were right there.
Quite a while.
Pannone's on him, and he's getting good position. Of course, now they're going back to the man-to-man. You'll see Worthy want to handle it some here.
There's your statistics we mentioned. That's a big turnover against North Carolina, their 9th of the game. And now the chance to cut it to 5, Villanova.
Black was going to go backdoor on Granger, who likes to overplay.
You can hear Massimino, and you can also see him. He's directly in front of us.
North Carolina club walking back a little slowly right now. They may be getting a little tired.
And you have to give credit to Dean Smith. He tried to rest him in the early going, but it still may not be enough.
Well, the zone's packed way in now. Look for Granger to get back with his jump shooting.
Granger hit one a while ago, breaking the scoring ice. Mulquin back out. Granger's going to pop it. Jordan, Perkins. Perkins chases it down. The quickness of this young man again quite evident.
Ollie Massimino needs Stuart Granger to hit that jump shot because it's going to be there with North Carolina packing the zone deep.
That's 5 rebounds for Perkins. 12 and a half minutes left in this game. The East Region Final to Doherty. Beautiful pass.
Villanova taking the calculated gamble, going man-to-man, just as Alabama did the other night.
And that hurt him in the first half, didn't it, Billy? That's when North Carolina spurted to that big lead of 10 points.
Look at that zone. It's back inside the foul line. They're going to make Villanova show they can hit something from outside.
Into Pinckney, rejected by Perkins. Oh. Pannone.
Oh, what a shot.
It's going to count, but he is called for the foul. Pannone just really ducked James Worthy. The basket will count, however.
Pannone's great. He's got his shirt hanging out. You think Raleigh Massimino is the right guy to coach Pannone? Look at him. Oh. Those two guys pick each other up as longshoremen, go down to have a bar, have a pizza. Look at that. Great block on the inside. Granger gets it back. Now here's Pannone just releasing that shot. Good call.
Boy, Pannone, you see the concentration. Look at him. He's angry. He went after that ball. Perkins.
Might have walked.
Yes, he did. Good defensive effort that time by Pinckney.
Boy, Pinckney's playing some game here, too.
Boy, the expression on Pannone's face is scary right now. He is upset.
Well, North Carolina's gone 9 minutes now. James Worthy doesn't have a point in the second half. That's really changed their offense.
39-32. There he is, a big rugged man. And it goes to him. Off to Granger. Nice pass. Good shot.
Nice pass by Granger.
Now it's 39-34.
And it's the key right here for North Carolina. They have got to make Pannone work on Worthy.
Worthy having a real problem with him. Pannone behind him. Nice move, but he's fouled.
There it is. Pannone cannot handle him man-to-man, and North Carolina's gone a long time without letting him handle the ball. Here it is. Watch Pannone. He's going to push. He's going to hold. This is a great play in here. Down on the arm. No question about the call.
Pannone now with 3 personal fouls, and that has to concern this man. Raleigh Massimino. 2 shots coming for James Worthy. Dean Smith. He's in a battle. He knew it would be. He said the last 3 minutes will decide this one. 9 points. That's the first point of the second half for this All-American. 40-34 the score. Worthy is only shooting 67% from the line, but he hits them when they need him.
Well, he hit him the other night, too. Here's the 2-2-1 full court pressure.
41-34. Worthy giving chase on Dobbs. Pannone, that's the man they go to when in trouble.
Such a great play.
Pannone with 11 points.
Now they're going to change the defense again. Here's a half-court 1-3-1 trap. We said the Philadelphia, the cradle of coaches when it comes to basketball. They've had so many of them up there. North Carolina spreading out. Looks like they're going to sit on it a while.
Think they'll go to the delay now?
Well, they're going to spread out this 1-3-1 half-court trap.
Here's Worthy in the corner. They bring it out to Jordan. Jordan had a notion. Elects not to. 10.5 minutes to go. Remember, there were 13 minutes left in that Virginia game, the ACC tourney final, when they started.
They're wanting to go ahead and spread out that 1-3-1. That was well recognized by Dean Smith. Does not want to play against that.
10:15 left in this game. 41-36 Carolina trying to move to the Final Four for the 7th time in Dean Smith's illustrious career. Jimmy Black said it's an added incentive to try to win it all for the coach this year.
This helps North Carolina to some degree, too, in the fact that I thought they were getting a little tired out here.
Out to Doherty, no hurry at all. Boy, the pressure starting to mount as we go inside 10 minutes to play.
Now let's look at the foul situation right now. North Carolina only has 1 team foul in this half. Villanova has 4.
Boy, the crowd now starting to react to this. I think it's tough on the crowd, even the way they don't know what to do. They sit and watch on the edge of their seats, waiting for something to develop here.
Well, what Dean Smith wants, he wants to see Villanova have to play straight man-to-man. If they do, I think he'll, and that's what's happening right now. Raleigh Massimino hollered out of color. Straight man-to-man. North Carolina goes into offense.
This delay started at the 10:58 mark. Now 9-11 into Worthy.
That was it. You talk about a coaching clinic. Raleigh Massimino changed 3 defenses that time. Dean Smith waited till he got what he wanted and then attacked.
2 of the best in the business. A chess match between these 2 veteran coaches. 43-36. Malkin out to Dobbs.
Goes to a walk. Boy, Malkin's an aggressive player.
North Carolina's hit 4 in a row. That was partially blocked. Pannone is trying to come up with it on the floor. Dobbs has it. They're wild and woolly underneath now.
Great hands by Pannone and Pinckney. You can cut the tension with a knife here, can't you?
John Pannone was inside. He was like a gopher burrowing his way to the basket. Watch him.
Look at him. Look at that determination on the face. Here he comes inside. Knocks a few out of the way. Can't get the handle. Pinckney saves. Throws in bounds. And there's the foul by Doherty.
That will send Dobbs to the line.
Here we go. Immediately seeing the man-to-man. They go to Worthy. Goes back with his spin shot. Pinckney slammed the board. No good.
Boy, he left Pannone frozen, didn't he?
Well, he is a little too quick for Pannone. Plus, he has about, although Pannone's listed 6'8", Worthy's listed, I guess, 6'8" or 9. He seems to be quite a bit taller and a lot quicker.
This is the first free throw of this half for Villanova, and Dobbs hands it. Frank Dobbs shooting 65% from the stripe. Mr. Versatility, he can play a guard or forward spot for them. Two very important free throws for the Wildcats. We're going to have a timeout. 8 minutes, 41 seconds left to go. North Carolina, who at halftime led it 28-22, now have an advantage of 43-38. Villanova's had through the years. They've just been outstanding. Their third straight NCAA appearance. 43-38, 8.5 minutes left in this game. Here is Worthy.
Change on defense. Pinckney on Worthy, Pannone on Perkins.
That's two of them he's got. That's twice he's gotten loose on the baseline in the second half.
That's a freshman having to play against a very, very smart ball player. And what happened to McClain? There he comes out for the overplay, and a great backdoor move by Doherty. And to compound it, he fouls it.
You talk about a freshman, but as you look at Raleigh, Doherty's only a sophomore.
But, you know, there's certain guys that, regardless of the class, they have that natural instinct and intelligence for the game.
Well, he's got that New York area basketball sense. Street-wise, it's 46-38.
North Carolina going almost strictly zone now. They played man-to-man just about the whole time. There's the freshman again, taking a shot.
Pinckney tries to keep it alive, and Perkins blocked it. Wait a minute, a foul is going to be called on Sam Perkins.
That was a good block in my estimation, and Dean Smith's got to agree. Boy, Perkins came down right on the ball. We'll see it. There's McClain's shot. Pinckney, ever present, out-battles Worthy for this rebound, which is quite a feat in itself. And there's the block. It was a great block. No question about it.
If anything, Pannone had bounced him into him.
And that was a good block.
Third foul on Perkins, and that brought Dean Smith up.
And these refs for Purdue, they've had a heck of a game so far.
At the line will be Pinckney. Gonna have to get some perspiration off the ball, delay the action for a moment.
Okay. 46-38.
In this half, Villanova shooting 58%, North Carolina 60%. Remember, Villanova was shooting in the 30 percentile early in this game. Pannone, he's just kind of directing things now. For
That's two men. He lost the shot. Wait a minute. The ball was handed to the shooter. That should discount one shot. Let's see what's going to happen here.
Now Dean Smith wants to know.
Big break for Villanova.
Well, he missed it anyway.
You know, I've seen this happen all year, Gary, where guys on the first shot of two walk into that lane. Jimmy Black did at that time.
It would nullify the shot. Well, he missed it anyway, so it's academic now. Worthy will inbounds at 46-39. A 7-point lead. Black reach in by Granger. He fouled him. And Granger now has 4 personal fouls.
That is the one man at this stage of the game that even though he hasn't had a big game, I think Villanova would hate to lose because he can run that offense and he still has the threat for the jumper against the zone.
Well, Villanova has 2 men in foul difficulty. Howard and now Granger. 46-39, approaching 8 minutes left in this game.
Granger and Black, 2 very excellent point guards.
Where they picked up by Pinckney. Pinckney kind of cheat inside a little bit on the defense.
And they're going to make Pinckney see what he can do against Worthy, I'll tell you that.
Out it comes to Jordan, almost intercepted by Aaron Howard, who's playing with 4 personal fouls. Black inside, Perkins, little jump hook.
He's a little tall for Pannone. And of course, Raleigh Massimino had to make one move or the other. I mean, his chest game is playing right along with him.
That's that 1-2 All-American punch. It's paying off for North Carolina. The crowd in a fever pitch now. Black, a foul on Pinckney, and this place is erupted. The 1-and-1 is now in effect. 17 fouls against Villanova. We'll be back with 7:21 to play.
3 team fouls on them so far in the half.
Boy, I tell you, this Carolina team has great balance scoring. 12, 9, 9, 9, and 8 in their starting 5.
Now the clock becomes a factor too, although there's a lot of time left. With North Carolina packing back in, Villanova's going to have to start putting up some jumpers.
50-39, the biggest lead of the game. 11 points. Carolina led by 10 earlier. And the crowd really now coming to the floor. They are supporting Carolina. It is unbelievable, the noise. Aaron Howard.
Oh, and that'll silence him.
That's a guy they missed because of the foul difficulty.
No question. It not only hurt him offensively, it hurt him defensively. Now it's man-to-man. Pannone and Perkins, Worthy and Pinckney, and that's where Carolina's going to go the rest of this game, you can be sure.
50-41, 6:41 left in the game. We'll keep you posted on the time. Jordan with Howard on him. Good pressure. The next held ball, by the way, will go to Villanova. That's something to keep in mind.
Certainly is. And I'm sure the players on both of these well-coached clubs know that. 5-second call.
Close. Black's going to have to start moving it around off to Perkins.
Big spread right here.
Boy, is this a tough team to catch up to. North Carolina.
They're looking for a backdoor cut, trying to get an easy one. I'm surprised they haven't stayed in their man-to-man offense. There goes Perkins. He's got it.
And he is fouled. Pinckney committing a personal foul. Mulquin will now check in for Villanova. That's 3 fouls on the young freshman. As coming out will be Pannone. They're going to give him a little blow now at the 6:03 mark.
Right, they're going to try to give him a blow, and there's Pinckney reaching in. Perkins had beaten him. Now, he's not only giving him a blow, but I think Rollie Massimino also realizes that the one thing Pannone probably can't do is go out and chase. You know, the quickness factor hurts him a little.
It was evident on that play. Perkins, his stats for the day. He is 4 of 4 now from the free throw line. North Carolina's missed only 2 free throws this entire game.
And what were they the other night? 21 in a row or something like that before they missed?
They missed only 3, and those came late in the game. 51-41. This, if he hits this, would again give them their biggest advantage. 11 points in the game.
Now North Carolina goes back. They showed the man-to-man the whole first half, and now they're back packed in a very aggressive 2-3 zone.
Inside 6 minutes left in the game. Mulquin, who just checked in. Pannone is getting ready to come in at the first opportunity.
Ranger's got to get back out there on the point, run this offense. He's going to get buried down the corners. There he is.
Ranger that time not handling the ball well. Jordan reaching in, getting difficulty. They're taking a lot of time, Billy.
Ranger's got to put some up from the point.
Boy, good heads-up play by Doherty. Here comes Pannone back in. Doherty really anticipated that cross-court pass.
And what Rollie Massimino wants to do here, get Pannone in on offense, have Mulquin for defense if possible.
Now Buzz Peterson will come in for Jordan. He's going to let Jordan get ready for the stretch drive.
As Jimmy Black, he's been out of the game for that little period in the first half. That's about all, isn't it?
And he's played so well, hitting 4 or 5 from the field and canning a couple of free throws. Here is Dobbs. Nice pass, but they don't get the shot. Perkins with a rebound.
You see that? North Carolina changed their defense on that. You just can't fall asleep against the Dean Smith club. And that's why I thought that the great coaching in the Big East this year would really prepare Villanova for this game.
6 rebounds now with that last one by Sam Perkins. 5:13. You see the time left. Out of bounds. It's off of Villanova.
Worthy thought he had Pinckney beat on the baseline, but he was a long way from the basket.
Substitution now. Jordan is going to come back in. Buzz Peterson comes to the bench area. Very astute substitutions in this game by Dean Smith. To Worthy. Pinckney with 3 fouls. And Worthy just leans in.
And again with experience. Pinckney didn't realize they were going to blind pass it right by his ear.
14 points for Worthy. Biggest lead of the game, 54-41. Granger. Perkins is there. Pinckney's got it. Oh, is he tough? He's like a garbage player inside. He gets everything that's loose. He has 14 points.
Again, good officiating.
Black off to Jordan. Jordan just got about a few seconds to breathe on this side.
Backboard very close.
Almost, but Worthy was there. North Carolina has hit their last 7 field goal attempts. Can you believe that? What pressure basketball.
Well, they're looking for the good shot right now, making Villanova really have to work.
4:21. Again, the screen showing you the time.
And remember, Villanova got a long way to go to get on that foul line, with North Carolina already on.
Backdoor.
Jordan. Oh, no, I don't believe he touched it. The officials kind of screened off on the play. I don't believe the ball was ever touched by Jordan. Let's see it. There's the back door. Michael Jordan gets the stuff.
Boy, Jordan has really played well in the last 4 or 5 minutes, both offensively and defensively, giving chase on Gary McLean, who just checked in. Howard hits again. A young senior doesn't want this season, his career to end at Villanova.
North Carolina going right on over the press now.
Doherty, he's going to take it in.
They never anticipated he'd do that.
58-45. He has 11 points. Remember, in the first half, he was 0 for 3 from the field. 5 men in North Carolina in double figures. Pannone, it'll count, and the foul will go on James Worthy.
He's the guy that is never going to give up. He looks up at the scorecard. Watch him come right on through. Occupies the space. Uses the great hands, and on the reach doesn't get bothered at all. Look at the concentration.
There wasn't any room to get that ball in there, but they did somehow.
Gary, I'd like to go ahead and salute some other people, too. We have a great game here. Everybody knows about Division I NCAA, but Will Jones, a guy that's a former assistant at the University of Maryland, led the University of District Columbia with their 2 super players, Earl Jones and Brett, to the national championship against a guy by the name of Hal Whistle, who was an outstanding coach at Lafayette, has great clubs down in Florida.
Here's John Pannone trying to complete the three-point play. It's 58-48. It's not over yet.
Almost a 5.
3.5 minutes to go. Perkins out to Doherty. Only man back is Howard.
Excellent fast break. Doherty just maintained his position and made Howard commit.
13 points. Perkins. There's Pannone again. It's not going to count this time. He is fouled by Jimmy Black.
Look at Perkins. Here we see Doherty. See him occupy the defensive man before he committed. And then Howard didn't have any chance to get back on Perkins. Most guys would throw that pass a little bit too early, and that allowed the defensive man to play 3 instead of just being able to be occupied by 1.
Dean Smith's team, they're so characteristic of everything. There's nothing they can't do well. They can run the ball, they can delay the ball, they can play the zone, the man-to-man, and that's the reason he's very close to going to the Final Four for the 7th time in his career.
Well, you notice that Pannone was fouled, okay, but he's not going to the line because, again, North Carolina only has 5 team fouls on them, so it was a wise move by Perkins to grab a hold of it.
You can see how tired he is. They've taken him out right now to rest him up while they try to inbounds it. He is just down on one knee in front of us. What an effort. Mulquin in. He walked to the ball.
Big turnover there. Wally Massimino was going to go ahead and try to get Pannone back in for Mulquin, but it didn't work out for him.
Dottie really upset at that last turnover.
Don't be surprised to see North Carolina try to go long against this press.
North Carolina playing so well down the stretch, they've hit, believe this or not, 10 field goals in a row. They've been the good percentage shots. They're 12 of 16 this half. Well, North Carolina has been there before, and I think it's showing itself today.
Well, you know, on this very court, Villanova had maybe the greatest day they've ever had in college basketball, particularly when you take in consideration who they played. When they destroyed the University of Pennsylvania, who had one of the great teams in the nation that year, and then went on to the Final Four. In that Final Four, I'm sure everybody knows all the records, all of the accomplishments were stripped from Villanova, but they know that they were there and had Howard Porter and that crowd to go to the Final Four. Got beat by UCLA that year.
There's our score. Steve Smith mapping some strategy. What he's been mapping thus far has been letter perfect. 10 field goals in a row. Look at that record. And yet he hasn't won the big one yet. And he's been in the championship final 3 times, in the Final Four 6 times. The interesting thing is the average margin of loss in those have been 12 points. But he'd like to change all that. Throw those statistics out the window, get to New Orleans and turn it around.
You know, when you talk about the Final Fours, though, that disappeared in during that particular era, there was a guy named John Wooden that always was there. And although he didn't beat Dean Smith's team every time, he had some great clubs during that period of time.
Look at that. Coming up next will be that surprising Boston College team, another Big East Conference team against Houston. Houston has really been a surprise coming out of that Southwest Conference. That's from the Checkerdome in St. Louis. We'll follow after this one. In there and help Jordan up. Jordan is still, I think, a little shaky. He has 10 points, 1 of 2 from the free throw line.
Pretty good composure to stand up there and hit that one.
This whole North Carolina team has had good composure. I'm not surprised, though. 61-48, 2:59 left in this game. 62-48.
It's about all she wrote right here, but quite a show by not only Villanova, Raleigh Massimino and the entire Big East.
18-20 now for North Carolina at the line. Almost stolen. Pannone with the strong hands retrieves. Granger.
Most ball players, that ball is stripped away, and Pannone was able to hang on to it. Here goes Worthy.
That's only 4 points. Look at Worthy chase that ball down. You're not supposed to be able to run that fast when you're 6'9".
Playing on Black. Black's had a brilliant game from the point guard position. And I think he got the best of Granger, wouldn't you have to say?
You can say that. That was one of the keys that you said at the top of the show. Out it comes to Perkins. 2:18. The time showing. 12-point lead for North Carolina. So many stars in this game. But it seems as though when they really needed it, it was Worthy. 52.
Worthy not going back door there to clean it out for Michael Jordan.
To Doherty. Boy, he's made some big shots, hasn't he?
Doherty is a very deceiving player size-wise. He's 6'8". When he gets inside, he's got the moves to go up.
He had a very disappointing first half, but he's roared back. That's batted out of bounds. It'll be Villanova's ball. And a minute 50 away. North Carolina is from making it to New Orleans.
There's Pannone. He doesn't want to hear about that. Left-handed.
Look at the effort. That's going to be his 5th foul.
Yep. Boy, I'm going to stand up and give him a hand myself. That kid's some player.
Billy Paxton standing up. I tell you, this young man, John Pannone, has played as hard as you can play the game of basketball. Look at Pinckney over there with him.
He is a tough kid, and he'll be back. He's only a junior.
14 points, 5 rebounds. He's exhausted.
Well, only 4 teams can go, and there are 280 in this thing. 274 Division I schools, something in that range. And only 4 get to go.
48 outstanding teams, too, when they named this tournament field. A lot of them proved the committee right, haven't they?
They sure have.
13 points now for Michael Jordan. That's right at his average for the year. He has 13, Worthy 14, Perkins 13, 10 for Black, 13 for Jordan. Is that good balanced scoring?
Well, we've got 3 teams in, Gary, and 3 of the teams that were figured at the beginning of the year to be among the powers in college basketball. Georgetown, Louisville, and North Carolina.
Louisville, actually, though, in the middle of the season, kind of faded, but they've come back on. Great tournament experience that they have. Ed Pinckney, look at him talking to Raleigh. I don't know whether he's asking a question or whether he's just so tired.
Well, they put on quite a show. And you hear the Carolina people saying New Orleans. That's where they're headed.
They'll play the winner of that Boston College-Houston game coming up next. Granger. Pinckney. He wants a timeout.
That's what he was talking to Raleigh Massimino about. Do we want the times? Do we want to try to cut down the clock as best possible?
And just a freshman having that kind of a grasp of what this game is all about. 65-52, Carolina. Nailed into the victory column for the Tar Heels.
Gary, you want to talk about this will be Villanova's 8th loss. Every one of their losses came to teams in this tournament. Isn't that unbelievable?
You believe how quickly they got that ball down the floor?
Well, they're attacking. They're not trying to hang on the ball. They're attacking the defense.
67-52. Granger blocked by Jordan.
Now, Granger needs to calm down a little bit right here.
Look at Worthy.
They ought to play solid ball, not let this thing get out of the hat.
There's the foul. Aaron Howard is fouled out of the ball game. The second Villanova Wildcat to run out of eligibility.
That's a tough feeling right there for a senior, knowing you'll never suit up again in a college uniform.
And now they're clearing the bench. North Carolina, and listen to the crowd. Worthy with 14 points, 5 rebounds, 2 block shots. At the line Jimmy Black, 10 points. Get this, he had 7 assists in this game.
To me, this was the matchup. What I felt, whatever one of these point guards had the better day and led their ball club, that was the team that was going to win this game, because the real good inside play of Pinckney, who played an excellent game in Penone, would kind of hold off Worthy and Perkins.
Give you an idea, Pinckney in this game has 16 points and 11 rebounds, and he has played well. There he is. Now has 18 points. Less than a minute to go.
Play can go down court. There's nobody there.
This is Jeff Barlow, who's just checked in. Barlow, a senior. That's got to be a thrill for him. North Carolina's hit 13 straight field goals now. McLean. Gary McLean, a little shootout now, 70-56. Look at the quickness of Black.
He carried it. Dean Smith's going to take him out, I believe.
Coming out now will be Black, and coming in is Linwood Robinson. Also in there, Cecil Exum. Jeff Barlow. Warren Martin coming in. Now, Jimmy Black said it's added incentive to win it all for the coach this year.
Well, I kind of felt, Gary, and I mentioned this to you this morning at breakfast, that I thought that North Carolina might have more pressure on them than maybe they could stand. So many people talked about Dean Smith never winning the big game. And it's the kind of thing that kids sometimes can get so emotional about that they really don't have a good feel for the game.
You know, you said that earlier about Louisville, too. They were struggling in the middle of the season. The pressure of winning it all in 80, but they're back in that Final Four. Here's Mulquin. Oh, Waddle tip is up and in. John Seises, a senior, scored.
That's Will Robinson turning the ball over. Everybody a little nervous right now. You get the shock troops in there.
Robinson, a freshman. He's out of Mount Olive, North Carolina. I can't get over the balance in this game for North Carolina. Mulquin on the drive. He's fouled. No, charging.
That was Martin, Warren Martin, holding his ground in there.
Let me give you these stats, Billy. Jordan with 15, Worthy with 14, Doherty with 13, Perkins with 13, and Black 11. That's just incredible balance.
Well, they had, as everybody knew, the start of the year, Dean Smith's best starting 5 that he's ever had.
Barlow tried to chase that one down.
Look at Dean Smith upset with that, even from an assistant. I mean, from a second-team club, he does not like to see that kind of play.
You're going to bring it the other end because nobody touched it?
Yeah, they hit the backboard. Yes, it touched the backboard, and therefore it'll be taken in on this end.
13 seconds away from a celebration here for North Carolina. Carolina hit 13 in a row down the stretch, 15 of 19 in the second half. Ooh, standing shooting. 70-60, it's all over.
The 10-pound sophomore